Hello everyone, today I want to do something interesting. I want to do a simple graph. It's going to extend JPanel and it's going to have a frame. It's going to have line color, point color, grid color. I'm going to have the X and Y scale, and I'm going to use the paint graphics too. I'm going to use graphics 2D, and I hope you do enjoy. So let's get into this. So my project extends a JPanel, and I'm gonna go import the JPanel, and I'll create my main. And in here I'm gonna use the swing utilities. I will invoke a runnable later, which will run this method right here. The method is going to be create and show GUI. So basically that's my method that I'm going to go and create up here. So I'm going to say private. I'm going to need a list of double scores and a new array list. I'm going to need a random generator, random number generator, call it random. I'm gonna do the right thing, which is import all this right now so that we can get rid of all the errors along the way. Minimize those. I'm gonna have, let me just give it a nice space. I'm gonna have an integer of maximum data points. I'm gonna give them 20. I'm gonna have an integer of maximum score. I'm gonna give it an 8. And I'm gonna have a loop right now which runs through my maximum data. This is gonna do scores dot add double random, my random generator dot the next double, multiply that by the max score, and that's it. So I'm gonna jump out of my loop and create my panel now. I'm gonna call it main panel, goes to new math graph. I'm gonna pass the scores here. I'll go create the constructor later. So I hope that that's not gonna be an issue. So main panel dot oh, I'm really sorry. I don't know why I'm calling it a math graph, because I think I'm just used to math graphs. This should be math graph. I'm wondering why am I doing that. So I'm gonna pass scores and then say main panel dot set preferred size, new dimension, let the dimension be 700 by 600. So I'm gonna go create the constructor. I should change this to math graph, because in my head I've already set it to be the math graph. So I'm gonna import that dimension, and I'm gonna jump in here and create my frame now. Let me call it a simple math graph, because I'm gonna use math there, some math. And I'm gonna import this. So frame dot set default operation jframe dot exit on close, and then I need the frame dot get content pane dot add main panel. I also need to do this frame dot, I also need to set it relative to now so that it can be at the center. I like it at the center, and then not forgetting the most important thing, which is to set the visibility to true so that I can see my frame. So let me solve this error right here by coming up here and creating my constructor of simple graph. I also wanted to say math graph. Double scores, this dot scores equals scores, and then up here I need a field of scores, list double scores, so that we can get rid of these errors, you know. And that's it. So far so good. This is very tough because I have to think along the way what I need. So let me give that space there so that I can know what I'm doing. And I'm gonna jump right ahead and start creating my paint components. I'm gonna override the protected void paint component, yes, something like that. Graphics G super dot paint component G. That's just it. I need to import the graphics, and then let's go ahead and let me import the graphics 2D. I'm gonna use the 2D G2 graphics 2D. Let me import this, import that, and then I'm gonna say the G2 dot, I need to set the rendering, so I'm gonna say rendering hints dot key, okay, and then I'm gonna get the value of the rendering hints dot value of that on. I need now to start creating my double X scale and Y scale. So my double X scale is gonna have a double, and I'm gonna get the width, I'm gonna subtract this by 3, multiply that by padding. I've not created the field padding, but I'm gonna go ahead and create. I'm gonna go ahead and subtract that by label padding, something that I will go create. And then all this I'm gonna divide by the scores, the scores dot the size, I'm not setting the index, I'm doing this scores dot the size, yes, of the integer -1, and that's how I get my my third, I need to create the field pattern, and I need to create the third field label pattern. I need to give them a let me give them values. So I'm gonna give it a value of 12. Those are just my random numbers because I'm just doing something so that someone out there can learn to how to do some of these things. It's very hectic, but it's rewarding, because once you get to do such a project, you begin to understand how things work behind the scene. So I'm gonna multiply that by the pattern again, and then subtract by the label pattern. And then right here, I'm going to create new methods that are not there. So I'm going to create the method get the maximum score and get the minimum score, but I'm going to subtract I'm going to take get maximum score and subtract it to get min score, and then close that. So I need to go ahead and create that method and create oh, I forgot to add that because it's a method. I'm wondering what is the problem. So here I'm gonna return, so let me start coding this so I'm gonna say double main score is equivalent to is equals to double dot max value, and I'm gonna say for double scores main score equals to math. I'm using the math there, and then the mean, and then the main score, and then this one right here, this one right here is gonna be the score. And what do I return? I'm returning the mean score. Down here it's gonna be almost the same, but as like down there it's gonna be the same, but I want to make sure that let me try to see what the problem here is. It tells me to change method. Yeah, I need a double here and a double here too. Sorry guys. So right here I'm replying a message. Hey. So let me now work on this one. So I'm gonna say double max score will be equals to double dot mean value, and I'm gonna say wow for double scores max score will be equals to math dot the maximum max score, and the B for me here will be the score. What am I returning? I'm returning the max score. There you go. And our project, so far so good. No problems. So if I try to run this, so far what's gonna happen is I'm just gonna print an an empty frame, a math graph, which is 700 by 600, the dimension. So let's go ahead and try to add a lot of things here so that we can see what we're doing. So I'm gonna introduce point, graph point, which is equals to new array list, and then let me import the point. I need this one right here. So I'm gonna say for integer I equals 0, I less than scores dot the size of the size I plus plus. Let's do this. What are we going to do? We are going to say int x1 will be equals to int, oops, not that, I multiplied by the x scale. I'm gonna add the padding, and then I'm gonna add my label padding, and I think that's it for me. And then I'm gonna say int y1 will be equals to int. I'm gonna get the max, that method. I'm gonna get the max score method. I'm gonna come here and subtract my scores dot, I'm gonna get an index of I, and then I'm gonna multiply that by my y scale, and then out here I'm gonna add that by my padding. I'm just hoping this one works. And then down here I'm not gonna forget to say my graph points dot add. I need to add an index, so I'm gonna add a new point, which is gonna be of x1 and y1. Oops, sorry, y1. Hope this one works. And that's it. So basically we are done to that point. So I need to come out here and start setting color. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say g2 dot set color. What's gonna be my color? I'm gonna say color dot white. I'm gonna come here and say again g2 dot, I'm gonna fill the rect, and in here I'm gonna fill the rect by padding. I'm gonna fill the rect by padding, and I'm gonna add it to my label padding. My y is gonna be get the width, and then that's a method, my get the width method. And since this is a little bit complicated, I'm gonna come here and fill in my rect and say subtract this by 2 times my padding, and then on my width I'm gonna say the label, oops, sorry, my label padding, get the height, that's there, that's good, and then I'm going to subtract that by 2 multiplied by padding, minus my label padding. So I'm trying to fill my rect here. So let me see if my method, if my fill rect is working. So I need the padding, and I'm gonna add it to my label padding. I'm gonna get my padding here. This is tricky, very tricky. I'm gonna get my pattern, and I'm gonna take my get width and multiply by my pattern and subtract this to my label pattern, and then get the height. So I'm trying to write this down in paper so that I do the correct thing. So I'm gonna take in my pattern, I add to my label pattern. I will get the width, of course, and then do that, and then let me pause this so that I can try to solve this. And so basically, since we are doing this together, guys, I'm trying to see what my, okay, let me read the problem. The method fill rect int in the type graphics is not applicable for the arguments double int. Okay, I see where the problem is. This is correct right here, because this is what I want to do. So I think my problem is back in the field where I need this to be as an integer, not a double. So an integer. So let's try to solve that, and booyah! That's it. We're good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and say G2 dot set color. Oops, sorry. Dot set color. I need a color dot. Yeah, that's what I can say. Color dot blue. So basically, so far so good. It's a very long code. So far so good. And I need to start trying to bring in some loops. So I'm gonna create the hatch marks for the grid line. Let me try that. So I'm gonna say for integer I equals 0, I less than number, let me say number y divisions. I'm gonna add that plus 1, I plus plus. So I know I don't have the field of number y division, so I'll go create that, but let me just do this first. So I'm gonna have x 0, which will be equals to my pattern plus label pattern, and then my int of x1 will be equals to my point width plus padding plus label padding, and then my integer of y is 0 will be equals to, I'm gonna get the height here, get height. That's a method, subtract by, I'm gonna subtract by my I right here. Oh, my I bar. I'm gonna take that and get the height. I'm multiplying this, so I need to not forget that. I'm gonna have endless errors, and then that I'm gonna subtract by a padding. I'm gonna multiply by, let's say 2, and subtract my label part in there, and all that I take it and divide by my number y divisions plus padding plus label padding, and then I close that. Oh, I hope it doesn't bring a lot of problems. So I need to go create these fields. So create fields, number y division, I think that's created up here. So I need to give it a value. Let me just say 6. I need to also create the field of point width. It's created up here. I need to give it a value. I'm just gonna say 10. And wow, so far so good. But we've printed nothing yet to the graph. But let me finish up, and then we try to see what we've printed so far. So basically up to there I think I'm fine. So I'm gonna come here and say y1 will be equals to my y0, as you can see, and I'm gonna start a loop here. If scores dot size is greater than 0, please get my g2 dot set the color to the grid color. I'm gonna go ahead and create the grid color because I've not done that. So I'm gonna come up here and say color, grid color. I'm gonna define my green color to new color. This is just very random to me. Well, I know that sounds very weird, but let's just try that color. Let's see. So I'm gonna say G2 dot draw, because I'm drawing now, but I'm drawing line. Draw line. Yes, there you go. So in my line, this is very complicated. I'm gonna take the padding. Let's go. You're down here, and then I'm gonna take the label padding. I'm gonna take, so I'm gonna definitely want to add these things. So let me show you how I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna add that. I'm gonna add that, and I'm gonna add 1, and then I'm gonna add my point width, and then y0, and then I'm gonna get the width, minus my padding, and then my y1. So what did I draw? So my line will consist of the padding, my label padding. I add 1 and plus my point width, my y0, and my get width, subtract my padding and my y1. And as you can see very much, you know where my point width is, you know what my y0 is, which is right here. So and that's it for now. So because I'm not yet done, I'm gonna set color again to color dot black, and I need a string, right? Let me say string y label will be equals to int, and what am I gonna do here? Let me show you what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna get the mean score and then add it to get the max score minus my get main score, and then all this here I'm gonna multiply it to my I'm gonna multiply this to my I times, I'm gonna take a number there to try to form this, and then I'm gonna divide that by number y divisions, and then I'll multiply that by, let me say 100, 2 and then let me say, because that's a double, plus some calibers, and then I'm gonna close that and see. My number y division is 6, like you can see there, but I think maybe I need to just copy this so that if the spelling is what is wrong, try to solve that. You see, I think the spelling was wrong. Okay, so same to this one too. It's gonna be S, it's gonna be S, and there we go. So we have an error of that there. Why do we have an error of that? This is just a syntax error. I'm just gonna look closely. Let me pause and try to, instead of recording a lot of time. So basically I solved that one because the problem was just the syntax, and when I save that, that is set. So basically that's what I've done. As you can see, that is what my program has done so far. Right there. That's what I've done so far. That's cool. So let's go ahead and try to start bringing in the font matrix. Matrix. I'm gonna take the G2 dot get the font matrix. I'll have to import this to make sure I get the right import before suffering. Oops. Okay. So in here, I'm gonna have an integer of label width, which is gonna be equals to matrix dot the string width of y label. Oh, come on, back here, right there. And what am I gonna do? I'm gonna say g2 dot draw string. I need the string where I've got the y label, my integer, yeah, and that's it. So I'm gonna have my y label right there. I'm gonna have my x, yes, that's just working right. But right here, in here, I need to take that and subtract by my label width. And then I'm going to subtract by 6. And then my y0, I'm going to add to my matrix dot get the height, divide by 2 minus 3. I hope that works. Come on. Thank you very much. So basically, as I have done that, I'm going to say please G2 draw line. Okay, so here I'm drawing XO, YO, X1, and Y1. That's it. Having done that, we can try to run our program again and see. That's what we did right there, as you can see. But I think I still have an issue with my numbers there. I have a phone call. Oosh. I'm gonna pause and call because that's a little bit urgent, so I'll be back very shortly. So I managed to call. So basically I need to draw my line outside my font matrix. So I draw my line there, and as you can see, that's what happens. And let me continue. Basically, since this is more complicated than I thought, coding online, I'm gonna write down all the code and paste the remaining part, and you can see the outcome. I hope you've learned something. So, and thank you very much. Let me show you what I'm gonna do next here. So hello everybody, I'm back again. I went and because there's a lot of time needed to do this, and I see my video might be more than 1 hour and I don't want it to be that. So I went and added this part, and So basically what I've done is I've created two classes. One I've called it math graph for my dummy, and the other one is for my final, which is, so that's the way we normally do it. Like you have a draft and you have a final. So my final is a simple graph, my dummy is the math graph. So far when I run my program, that's what appears. So as you can see, we've drawn this already, like so we've drawn this down here and we've drawn this up here. So that's very nice so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my